everyone, welcome to Minimal Mindful Mama. I'm Katie Mixon and I help busy moms to declutter, organize, and minimize their lives so that you can spend more time living the life that you want to and less time cleaning and organizing all of the time. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I think are the bare necessity kitchen items that you need to have in a minimalist kitchen.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
When you're minimizing your kitchen items, this can be really helpful to know what things you absolutely have to have and which things you can actually let go of, or that are duplicate items that you can use something else for the same purpose. I used to work as a pastry chef. I still do on occasion make cakes and other sorts of things for friends. I also have been a mom for the last over 6 years and have been cooking for my family most every night, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I tend to use my kitchen very heavily, and I also have some items that wouldn't necessarily be important for someone if you perhaps don't make specialized items such as cakes or cupcakes or pastries, if you're not doing decorating or baking type of things. Also, if you don't have a large family or eat at home as often, then some of those items might not be as important for you as well. But in this video, I'm going to be covering only the absolutely necessary items and not any of those specialty items that I do also keep in my kitchen. If you're interested, I may also do an additional video where I talk about some of the add-on items that aren't the absolute minimal necessities, but that are nice to have that I keep as well. So let me know down in the comments below if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing. So the first item that is absolutely necessary in every kitchen where anyone cooks at all, and that would be a kitchen knife. So I'm actually going to show these three items together. I have a sharp cutting knife, the knife sharpener for it, as well as something to cut on, and I really like these silicone cutting mats. So having a good knife is really important. It's very helpful to be able to cut cleanly and quickly. And so I like this one that I have, and I do sharpen it on a semi-regular basis. I personally chose this knife to show in this video because I feel like this style of knife can be used for a lot of different things. So you could potentially minimize some of your other knives and then just keep this one, especially if you don't cook quite as often or make things like steaks or baking bread or things that you would need a different style of knife for. I feel like this is just a really good utility knife that can be used for a lot of different purposes. The second thing that I think is important to have in every kitchen is a spatula. So I have this one here, but there are lots of different styles of these and you can get whatever works well for you and your family. But this is a tool that can be used for so many different things. You can, of course, use it for scraping out pans so that you get every last drop. I use it for getting out peanut butter and jelly for when my kids are making sandwiches. It's a lot easier to get the remainder out of the container, and it can also be used for spreading. I feel like that alone is a good reason to have one of these, but you can also use it for mixing and stirring. Personally, I feel that you only need one of these, as you can just wash it and reuse it. I do have a smaller one that I let my girls use for baking as well, but that's more just for fun since it's cute and small. So if you're looking to declutter spatulas or even spoons, this is one that you should hold on to, and you can let some of the other ones go. I do also keep a spoon. This is my stainless steel one for stirring soups or things like that. But again, if you don't cook often, you might be able to get away with just using this. If you do cook on a regular basis, you probably want to have both a spoon and a spatula. A few other tools that I think are very useful in any kitchen are a can opener, any kind, a peeler for peeling veggies, and then I also have this grater, which I like this one because it does have the smaller holes, and so I can use it for zesting as well as grating. So I'll use this for ginger, lemon peel, orange peel, as well as anything that needs to be grated. I also find a potato masher to be an incredibly useful tool. I use this for so many things besides mashing potatoes. The first thing that comes to mind is for when I make jams and jellies, I can use it to smash down the fruit in the pan to help it to have a more smooth consistency. But again, this is one of those items that if you're not cooking often or a lot of different things, you might be able to get away with minimizing. I personally find this to be an incredibly useful tool, but everything in this video, of course, will depend on personal preference and what you like to cook in your kitchen. Another must-have item, in my opinion, is some sort of pan. If I were to choose between these two, I would choose this one, simply because it is larger, it has the straight up sides, and so I can fry eggs in this, but I can also use it for things like stir fries or things that contain liquid. So if I need to use it sort of as a pot, this is a really good pan for that. I do prefer to use stainless steel or cast iron. I had to have a cast iron one of these as well, but that one will be heavy to lift up and show in the video. So I definitely think that having a pan similar to one of these is very important, as you can do a lot of things with it. And I do have two simply because, again, I cook a lot. And so I'll use this one for larger things, but I do tend to use this smaller one if I'm making things like eggs. And then I have my cast iron one that I will get out, and I'll use that one primarily for cornbread, actually. I think that making cornbread in a skillet is the absolute best way to make cornbread. And so I do have those three pans. But again, if you're looking to have the absolute most minimal kitchen possible, you could absolutely do just one of those type of pans. Some sort of baking sheet is also an important kitchen tool that can be used for a lot of different things. So this actually, I believe, is a jelly roll pan. You can see it has the sides, which I think makes it even more utilitarian, because I can use this pan to make jelly rolls. I also bake cookies on it, and I also can use it for sheet pan dinners, and I really appreciate that the sides prevent anything from rolling off. So I'll do things like salmon and asparagus on here, or potatoes and sausage for roasting those. But this is such a useful tool to have, and if you're not the sort of person who does a lot of cookie baking, then I highly recommend getting one with these sides, because it can be used for so many different purposes besides just a baking sheet. If you do any sort of baking and a lot of kinds of cooking, you will probably need a mixing bowl. I really like this Pyrex 4-quart mixing bowl as it comes with the lid. So it's very convenient, as I can mix in it, and I can also then store leftovers in it after we're finished eating. I can make salads in it and keep it in the fridge. I can bring it places. It is so convenient and can be used for a lot of different purposes. This one did come in a set with different sized bowls, but I'm sure that you could probably buy it individually as well if you're trying to be as minimal as possible. Or if you are decluttering, just choose one bowl from your kitchen that you can use for a variety of purposes. I also think that a casserole dish is pretty essential if you're cooking or baking. This again is by Pyrex, and it comes with a lid, which makes it, again, really, really convenient. So I've done brownies in this, I've done meats in this, similar to sheet pan dinners. So you can make casseroles, you can make lasagnas, anything that you need to make in a casserole dish. This is perfect for, and then you can add the lid to bring it along with you or to store the leftovers. I also like to use this pan especially for freezer meals. So if I'm making a dinner, I'll make a second of it or double the recipe, and that way I can put it in here and put the lid on, and it fits very well into my freezer, and that way I have a ready-made freezer meal that I can do if I have an especially busy night where I don't have time to prep dinner as much as I typically would. And finally, the last item that I think is absolutely essential to any kitchen is some sort of pot. Now I have this one. I also have a smaller saucepan, and you can decide for yourself, for your family, depending on how large of a family that you have or how many people you're cooking for, which one would better suit your needs. But I think it's important to have some form of pot because it can be used for so many things, such as soups or boiling vegetables. So if you have a larger family, I would go with one like this, or even perhaps a bigger one. But if it is just you or you and your partner, then you could go with a saucepan or something a bit smaller. Again, I'm a big fan of using materials such as stainless steel, cast iron, or glass rather than aluminum or plastic in my kitchen. And so I really like this stainless steel pot. I got it for Christmas, I believe, a few years back, and it has really served me well and been perfect for so many different uses. And it did come with a lid as well. Let's see if I can grab that real quick. So here is the lid. So it's a glass one, and that can fit on there perfectly. So those are the items that I would consider to be essential for any minimalist kitchen. So if you're decluttering, this can be a really helpful list to keep in mind of the things that you're going to want to hold on to, and then you can determine out of the rest what to let go or keep depending on your personal circumstances. If you would like to see a video about the additional things that I like to keep in my kitchen as add-ons to these bare necessities, that I also find to be just really useful multi-purpose kitchen items for my minimalist kitchen, but where I do cook a lot for my family, let me know down in the comments below. That would be a really fun video to make, so definitely let me know if that's something you're interested in seeing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's free. And if you ring that little bell button, you'll get notified when I upload a new video so that you don't miss out on any content that you are hoping to see. Thanks again so much for watching. Happy decluttering and minimizing, and I'll see you in my next video.